What is going on, everyone? Hello, and welcome back here into another edition of Next Gen Jets. Appreciate you all tuning in with us here on this Sunday, June 8th, 2025. Smash that like button and hit subscribe on your way into the building. It's completely free, and it helps us grow significantly here on the channel. Any questions for us, you could throw those in the chat, and you can call into the show with the pinned comment at the top of the chat. Paid way to help us grow, helps us significantly is you can get into our membership raffle. Every membership gifted or $2.99 super chat gives you an opportunity to win a triple signed photo containing signatures from Santana Moss, Wayne Corbett, Lavernius Coles, a signed on Maynard photo, a signed Altoon photo, a free item from our merch store, and a channel emoji. Every $2.99 super chat or gifted membership gets you an entry. More entries you have, the higher chance you have of winning. Took the week off, was studying for pointless final exams, but we are back and daily content is back here on this channel. Josh, what is going on, my friend?
Connor, excited to be joining you and Jack on Next Gen Jets.
No, Chris.
If you haven't, no, Chris is right. He's deeply missed this episode. I'm sure Jimmy will have something to say about that. But if you haven't checked out Connor and I's new work over on the Brooklyn Boys, I'll throw a link here in the chat.
Yeah, pop that in the chat.
Make sure you subscribe over there. It would really help us grow, trying to start up daily content over there. Having a ton of fun there. But excited to talk some Jets with you guys today.
Oh yeah, we're at one. I think we're at 130 subscribers. We're trying to get to 300 by the start of the NBA draft, which is just about 3 weeks away. So please, Josh, get that link in the chat, and then everyone hop over there quickly. Hit subscribe. Daily Nets content. Even if you're not a basketball fan, even if you're not a Nets fan, just please click subscribe for us over there. It really helps Josh and I grow significantly. And before we can even get into any topics or say what's up to Jack, our guy Luppy comes in and he wants 5 more raffle entries, and he drops a 5-pack of gifted memberships. What does Aaron Glenn have to say?
Here's what I do know. We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
K Brock, Cynthia W, Brandon Sanzone, Addison Blocks, Nick Bieglo. You are all channel members. Thanks to our great friend Luppy. Luppy, that is 5 raffle entries for you. Appreciate all of your support here on the channel, guys. Every $2.99 super chat or gifted membership gives you an opportunity to win 5 prizes this month: the Santana Moss, Wayne Corbett, Lavernius Cole signed photo, a Don Maynard signed photo, an Altoon signed photo, a free item from our merch store, and a channel emoji. Every $2.99 super chat or gifted membership gives you an entry. More entries you have, higher chance you have of taking home a prize. Luppy, thank you so much for the 5 memberships, my friend. Keep those coming. And since we haven't been on in a little, we'll match those 5 memberships for you, Luppy, and we can do that thing. Every membership or super chat that comes in will be matched. So that's what we will. That's what we will be doing on today's program. So keep the super chats and memberships coming. They really do go a long way. Now, Jack, what is going on, my friend?
Nothing much, man. I'm doing good today. I think this is like 12th edition of Next Gen Jets now. I'm glad to be back on here after my around 3-week hiatus, and
3 weeks, is that what it was?
I think it was, yeah, that's something around that. But I'm excited to be back on talking some Jets with you guys.
For sure. We are getting some feedback on the mic, so let me press a button and then we'll see if that fixes the feedback. But yeah, super happy with you to be back here on the channel. Appreciate you joining us, and appreciate you all sticking with us here on the chat. Someone who might not be sticking with his former team for too long is current Commanders wide receiver Terry McLaurin. He's entering the last year of his contract, and he's trying to get a new deal before he heads into the final year. So if he gets injured, he's not in no man's land and entering next offseason. So he hasn't attended. He's kind of been somewhat of a holdout. I wouldn't call it a holdout yet because the workouts that he's missing are optional, but he's certainly not pleased that he hasn't gotten a second contract with the Commanders yet. And that has kind of sparked some potential trade rumors, and the Jets have been a team that has been linked to Terry McLaurin, and Bleacher Report's Christopher Knox floated out a very, what I call, captivating trade for the New York Jets that has the Jets sending Breece Hall and a future second-round pick over to Washington in exchange for McLaurin alongside running back Austin Eckler and a day 3 draft selection. Jack, what are your thoughts here on this mock trade?
I'm a huge fan of Breece Hall, but if you're really if we're desperate for this wide receiver 2 position, I think you have to pull the trigger. Right. Send Brees Hall to Washington, get your receiver two and Terry McLaurin and Austin Eckler. You're still getting a valuable running back in this trade package here, and you're getting a day 3 pick, which you can use on one of your other needs, such as I don't know, tight end or like a good blocking tight end or another defensive lineman that we can pick up. So I think that's a proposal that I would 100% accept for sure.
Josh.
This is an interesting one. Honestly, I think Washington and McLaurin figure things out before here. Washington was a contender with their first year with a rookie quarterback, and Jaden Daniels made it all the way to the NFC Championship when they were least expecting to last season. So you would think that their front office is going to try and push all the buttons they possibly can to get this team right back in the position they were to succeed as they were last offseason. I think that Terry McLaurin stays around in Washington. But hey, if Washington calls up Darren Muji and he says this is the deal I want, I think it's hard for the Jets to pass up on this. Look, Brees Hall is going to become a free agent next year, right? I mean, this isn't a guy that you are begging to keep around. A second-round pick absolutely hurts. It's the last year of an expiring deal for a veteran wide receiver, right? But the thing with Terry McLaurin is how consistent he is. I think that the value you're giving up for what you're getting back is worth it for the Jets to agree to this deal. However, I think Washington is in too much of a desperate need to get the weapons around Jaden Daniels because Terry McLaurin was his best receiver last year. I think it's really
He was
hard.
a top 5 receiver in football last
Right.
year. Let's keep that in mind. Like, Terry McLaurin was
Right.
a great wide receiver last year,
Yeah.
not only on the Washington Commanders, but throughout the entire NFL. I think this is a surefire yes for the New York Jets if this trade is proposed 1,000%. I mean, the biggest thing is you are going to need to pay Terry McLaurin, and question becomes, are the Jets able to afford that? Paying a cornerback top 5 money at their position, paying Garrett Wilson top 10, I'd say, money at his position, and then potentially adding another $100 million contract on the payroll. That could be a little dicey for New York. But other than that, just looking at it from a pure player's perspective, I think if this trade goes through, the Jets 1,000% are the winners here. Brees Hall had 6 fumbles last year. Brees Hall barely broke any tackles last year. He lost that step. He didn't have that elusiveness. You bring in a guy like Austin Eckler, who had over 700 all-purpose yards in 12 games last year. The second-round pick does sting a little bit, but you get a day 3 pick back in exchange. So I think it pretty much evens out for the Jets pick-wise, and I think the Jets win the pure player battle here.
Connor, let's say you do this trade and then when it's all said and done next offseason, the Jets decide not to retain Terry McLaurin, not to resign him.
Terry
Knowing
McLaurin
that, are you still on board with this trade just for 1 year of McLaurin?
Well, that wouldn't even go through.
What do you mean that wouldn't go through?
Terry McLaurin would not. The Commanders would not trade Terry McLaurin to a team where he's not going to get paid. That's the whole point. That's the whole reason he wants to be traded. He won't be traded to a team that's not going to pay him. If he stays in Washington, it means he's getting paid. If he gets traded, it's to a destination where they're going to give him a $100 million contract for 4
Right.
months.
I'm just not sure approaching how many guys the Jets have to pay if that's going to be feasible.
That's what I said.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with you. I just think that, especially if Jermaine Johnson has a great bounce back year, and then he's going to be on the books too for an extension. I mean, that's 3 of your best players, and the decision on Brees Hall. If he is not part of this McLaurin package, that's 4 guys that you all have to think about paying top tier money for potentially.
McLaurin also has a very, very similar skill set to Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, right. Like,
very similar.
I think that was the thing with drafting Ted McMillan. Like, you're getting that big body, catch radius guy with surefire hands, right? And then you get Garrett Wilson to go be your nifty route runner, to go break a defender's ankles. But I agree with you. Like, Terry McLaurin, he's also on the decline, right? A couple of those things that in his prime were his best attributes are already starting to
Do you really
decline.
want to pay a guy $30 million a year who's about to turn 30 years old?
I agree. That's exactly what I'm saying. So I think as a this year perspective on this, I think this deal goes through. The Jets are completely happy with it. They need their wide receiver too. As of basically signing yourself up and saying we'll pay for this guy, Because I agree that I don't think the Jets want to do this deal if they're not keeping him long term. But then that also gives McLaurin and his agency all the bargaining power moving forward, and that takes away from
The
younger
deal
guys
will
that
not go
deserve
through if he's not
the
getting a long-term
paycheck.
extension. There's an
Exactly,
extension in
which
place.
is why he gets all the bargaining power when it's time for an extension. And then there's guys behind him from the Jets that are homegrown that are younger and deserve the paycheck more. That's going to be a really sticky situation to force yourself into.
I don't think Terry McLaurin goes anywhere, quite frankly.
I agree.
I think he's staying in Washington. I think they get a deal done. I think they're going to try to win a Super Bowl. I really do.
I agree. I don't think you could ship off a easy top 10.
That's just setting you back,
Maybe
you know?
top 5. Yeah. Why would they do that? This is their year to compete. I mean, they have a prime window.
I don't know. They have a 10-year window, in my opinion. If Jaden Daniels plays,
I mean, just with Jaden Daniels, but they looked good in other places also. They all around they were a solid functioning offense.
and they beefed up their secondary too.
Why would you ship your top receiver? That makes no sense.
It doesn't, and that's why I don't think it's going to happen.
I agree, but
I don't
if
think
it
the
were,
Jets
I
are going to be in play if it happens either. Like, why would the Jets be in play?
right.
Why
think
would
it's
Aaron
just
Glenn
that
trade for a 30-year-old?
for a second-round pick? That just seems not like him.
And you're still giving away a running back who has potential. And you're giving around the
Austin
second.
Eckler is consistent. There's no denying that.
No,
You'd
Austin
be
Eckler
getting
can't.
that.
I've met Austin Eckler twice, I think. A great guy. Love Austin Eckler. I have him in fantasy pretty much every single year. He can't stay healthy.
Yeah, and Luppy bringing it up in the chat. It's so against this youth movement. That's been the entire point of this offseason.
I met Austin Eckler when like a few days after he requested a trade, and I said, "Come play in New York," and he said, "We'll see." So didn't happen the first time around. Maybe we'll see this time. Maybe they'd have to trade for Austin Eckler. That could be fun, but I don't think they'd flip Breece Hall for Austin Eckler. There's no win. There's no ceiling.
Unless like you have like some like big package that you're desperate to get, like the Terry McLaurin one. That's the universe where I could see that happening.
I was talking like straight up.
Yeah, no, straight up, there's no
no.
world.
There's no point in trading for it. And Austin Eckler is 30 years old as well.
And you give away the chance of getting Breece
Who would
Hall.
you rather trade for, Terry McLaurin or Chris Olave?
I would rather trade for Chris Olave. I think he's going to cost more.
I think you can get Olave for a second and a fifth.
He has 5 concussions at this point in his career.
He's like Altoon. You can get him for a second and a fifth.
I think Olave
Maybe,
as well,
only
just
because
because
he's
of
on an
his.
expiring contract.
Also, the wide receiver trade.
I think his
market
age
is
as
great.
well. I think his age as well comes into
He's like
factor.
24.
He's younger. He's way younger than Terry, and he's gonna last in this league a lot longer than.
I don't know about if he's going to
Depends
last
if he can stay
longer.
healthy. Jack, he got
If he can
blown
stay
up.
healthy, that's what
He's
so
a guy.
much.
He's a guy I could see retiring before he turns 30 years old.
Yeah, like that's a Tua situation.
If he stays healthy, right, then I feel like obviously he'll last longer in the league than Terry McLaurin. But if we're looking, realistically, he's already had 5 concussions, I believe.
Over college and the pros, yeah,
Yeah. So, I
it's
mean,
been bad.
Chris Olave is interesting just because of his age and he's how skillful he is. But Terry McLaurin also catches my eye because just because of I love his elusiveness. I love his overall play style as a receiver. Like we said, similar to Garrett Wilson, and I feel like that could click a lot. Although it would be nice
I
to have.
disagree. I think having someone with the same skill set is not great when you have 2 wide receivers. I don't think it opens up another dimension to your offense.
I know. I was gonna say it's good to have that as well, but I think really you should also have a guy who's like a big body receiver, and I think that's kind of where the cons come in with that.
They don't have a big body guy whether they trade for him or not.
Mm-hmm.
He's 6 foot. Like, am I going to be
Olave-
disappointed if they trade for McLaurin? No. Like, if they can carry $300 million contracts, fine. But I'm not trading for Terry McLaurin, knowing that he comes at the expense of Garrett Wilson or Sauce.
Connor,
I just
look,
think we
I
wasted
think-
Mike
I think-
Williams last season.
I think
when
to
he
pay
could have been a
this
big
many
body guy.
guys, and the fact that we'll see how it plays out, but in the fact of right now that this coaching staff is this confident in Justin Fields. I mean, it seems like they already want to give him a payday, right? Like, let's see
Who?
what happens there. But
Who?
if Justin Fields plays well enough, it's going to be his turn to get paid real quarterback.
No, Justin Fields is 2 years on his contract.
Right, I know. But eventually that time will come if he plays well enough. If he makes a playoff run.
Justin
You pay
Fields.
Brock Purdy level money or whatever ridiculous thing that the modern NFL is.
Yeah, we'll worry about that problem when it
Yeah,
becomes
we'll
an
cross
issue.
that bridge
If
when
it
we
becomes
come
an issue.
It probably won't. I mean, let's get if Chris is out there in the world, he's screaming that he wants Justin Fields on a 5-year 250.
I thought the Jets got Justin Fields on a great deal. I love Justin
Yes,
Fields.
absolutely.
I'm telling you, Justin Fields is going to kill the Steelers week 1.
I can't wait. I'll be there. I mean,
Oh.
I would love nothing more than to just beat up Aaron Rodgers.
That game plan just needs to be quick passes. That's all it needs to be.
Yeah.
Quick
And-
passes and run plays.
RPOs.
Their defensive line with Cam Hayward on the inside, TJ Watt on the outside, like they're big guys who can make big plays on that defensive line. Like if the offensive line's able to hold up, Armand Membo is going to be lining up against TJ Watt week 1.
It's gonna be way
Connor.
overwhelmed. I think week 1.
Very,
Connor,
very tough.
I think there's no stronger test in week 1 for this Jets team than their O-line against the Steelers D-line, because that is truly best on best. That's the best of both teams. Those are their two best units facing off, and they're going to have to protect basically what we're going to be treating as a rookie Justin Fields. I just hope this coaching staff takes a step back and realize this is not the time to try any dumb, stupid trick plays or like get Fields in a place he's uncomfortable with, keep throwing the ball deep downfield. Like that's not what happens. We need to move the ball every down and create third and short situations.
I want to see quick passes and the ball pushed downfield week 1.
Right. But
Because-
I don't want to see him unload and fly for the secondary.
Oh,
Of
I
course, yeah.
disagree. The secondary's aging. I don't like I'm not confident in their secondary.
Okay, so get the ball out, get a bubble screen, get some blockers in front of.
I think I've always been right. 3. If you get 3 to 4 yards every play, you're scoring no matter what, right? If you it doesn't matter. It doesn't
Easier said
matter
than
how
done.
long it takes.
Way easier said than done.
I'm just
Right,
saying. I
but
know. I'm
just
saying,
the basic
it's
point.
very it's the most efficient way to score a touchdown is taking it slow but efficient, right? Because if the Jets try to just force it downfield to Garrett Wilson on like a
Yeah.
post or something.
I
time,
think
gonna
the Jets'
work.
whole thing is they're going to play super fast.
I think no, but that's exactly what it was last year. Take 3 shots at the sticks to Adams twice, and
And then
Garrett the other
2023,
time, and then it would never work, and the
2023,
punt unit would
And
be
then
out there.
2023 was the complete opposite.
Right.
It's
Right.
3rd
I
and
mean,
14.
That's what you get for hiring Nate Hackett and stupid Aaron Rodgers wish list. Nate Hackett was awful.
Yeah. I mean, if Angstrad's smart,
No other way.
we're gonna
about it.
gain. If Angstrad's smart, we're gonna gain 3 yards a play. That's 2nd and 7, 3rd and
Right.
4, 4th
Just
and
set
1.
up 3rd and manageable. You can't
Yeah,
be
3rd and
getting into the.
manageable.
I mean, it was 3rd and 10.
I
every
always
down
say
last year.
second down is the most important down on an offensive possession.
Yeah,
'Cause you're setting
correct,
up third
'cause
down.
I mean, it because you can do whatever you want on 1st down as long as it's not like a turnover because you have 2 more downs to rely on it. Once you get to 2nd down, if you're not picking up valuable yards, the possession's over. Forget about 3rd down. You're not picking up 10 yards every time you're put in a 3rd and long situation.
At least it's not the CFL where they only get 3 downs.
That's a thing.
Yeah, CFL
What,
only
Jack?
get like their 3rd down is their 4th down. As our 4th down is their.
That's so.
yeah,
So
3rd
when do
down
they
is 4th
punt?
down to them.
So they have 2
Third
downs,
down.
and then they punt on 3rd down.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, those are like the leagues that just try to like try to do something interesting to try to get views, and it just
No.
doesn't work. No one,
Jack,
like,
your strong relationship with CFL starting quarterback has bought you into the idea.
a former Jet was in the what's his name, the kicker, Sergio Castillo. That's who it was. He's in the CFL.
And
Former Jet.
who's the quarter? Chris Traveler. Chris Traveler as well was in that.
He's still playing in the CFL.
I think so. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
There was one receiver who was running like a COVID Ponzi scheme, who I think might be in the CFL, Josh Bellamy, or
in
Josh-
your bag, Connor.
yeah, Josh Bellamy. Let's see, is he in the CFL? He's not. I thought he was in the CFL. I guess he's not.
Is that where like Rodrigo Blankenship is? I feel like that.
No,
guy's
Rodri.
listed
That's
in
like the UFL. UFL's actually good.
Yeah, I love UFL. I'm a
Gosh,
Battlehawks
Jack.
guy.
Go
What?
go
I mean,
start
spring
a,
football-
go start a UFL podcast, Jack.
Spring football, any football to hold me over the spring is good enough for me.
Oh,
Eh. Okay, what's the
just so
Battlehawks record?
Unwatchable.
I don't know.
You're a Battlehawks fan. You
I
don't know
stopped watching after week 2.
Week 2.
That sounds like the Jets.
It's a magic number. That's the good thing about basketball. There's never any dead period in basketball, Josh.
Amen, brother. That's why we're pushing out daily content.
Except
At least
like
I got some.
last year, I couldn't imagine making Nets content.
Oh my gosh, with no picks at all, not
No
even a
draft
second.
picks.
Oh my god, yeah.
At least I got.
What did you?
at least
What,
still
I
have
mean,
money
I
in the
guess there
bank
was the
for
Bridges
last
trade.
night's
That was
meal.
huge. But other than that,
Yeah, the Bridges trade filled air for 2.5 months. But
God.
once you in basketball, like once your team gets eliminated in the playoff, like the Knicks firing Thibodeau, that's something that's gonna keep them talking for months upon months on end. I mean, the way you think about it is the season ends, the finals are going on right now, then the draft is in 3 weeks, then you have the draft, then you have kind of free
Summer
agency
league.
that's mixed in there, then you have summer league. then after
Season's
summer
starting.
league, there's 3-4 weeks. Preseason kicks off.
And season, yeah, and the season.
Season repeat.
Right.
And also, like the NFL is 17 weeks.
Yeah. There's no.
It's 17 quick weeks.
Well, technically 20 if you count the playoffs.
Regular season because the Jets never make the playoffs. So
But you said the NFL, not the Jets season.
okay, you got me on a technicality there.
You win. But yeah, I mean, on the days when we're talking about taking Jamal Adams on a league minimum back in, it's just like yeah,
At least that's something notable.
Yeah.
keep the line moving.
Jamal Adams would be good. I like Jamal Adams.
At
You
least
know
in
what's there
May,
not
right?
to?
At
Just
least you have the
try it
special to
for
talk
league
about, right?
minimum.
What happened?
At least for May, like you still have the schedule to talk about. I'm just saying, like June,
Schedule content's the absolute worst.
It's 2
I
days.
love
It's
schedule
literally
content.
fills there for 2 days.
Schedule.
I'm not gonna lie, I might like schedule content more than draft content.
Didn't you have them going
What?
6?
Yeah.
Schedule. You know the schedule. I know
Yeah.
the Jets get opponents in 2027.
It's just like what actual date and what time and
Yeah,
who's the
I
broadcast
love like
gonna
looking
be.
at like I just,
Didn't you say the Jets were not going to win more than 7 games, and then in your schedule release video you said the ceiling 7 wins, and then in your schedule release video you said they're winning 8 games?
I think after seeing the schedule and the order of the schedule, I think if they build up the momentum to
But
obviously-
a week before the schedule came out, you were on this show saying chalking up all these different games as concrete losses.
Yeah, I know. No. Wait, what concrete losses did I say besides?
Okay, we'll have to go
I
back to
changed
the
one. I
data.
changed one game. I changed one game.
So how's that possible? 'Cause
I
you said
said-
they were going.
I said there was a toss up with the Buccaneers. Here's a perfect example.
You said they were
let's
going
see.
6 and
Toss-up
11
for
though, and
you?
then well.
I wouldn't
time
be
out.
surprised if the
Wait,
Jets
time out,
lost
time
by
out, time out.
20.
You said they were going 6 and 11, then you said they were going 8 and 9 in your video, and you said you only switched up one game. How's that possible?
No, I said 7 and 10. 7 and 10, and then I said I flipped one game.
You said the ceiling 7 and 10. You said they were winning 6 games.
Because
That's what you
at the time, but it was pre-draft. Pre-draft, I didn't think they were gonna go past.
No,
7.
that was 2 weeks ago.
I wasn't on the show 2 weeks ago.
The week after the draft, whatever week that was, the week that I was not on the show.
Nearly 2 months ago.
That was not 2 months ago. I have it right here. That was
The week after the draft was
on May 11th. So that was not even a month ago.
oh, okay. Well, still,
Oh boy.
opinions change.
So what's your record prediction,
8 and 9.
Josh?
Yeah, baby.
You said if everything goes-
I think I also said 8 and 9.
I'm the OG 8 and 9er.
I think I think I had a lot of toss-ups. However, in my schedule prediction, one of the main toss-ups I had in that. was
That's
the
why I
Dolphins.
never fully. That's why I say
Yeah.
8 and 9. But it's like I just toss that number around. Schedule predictions are, in my opinion, some of the dumbest things ever. Given the fact that no one predicted the Jets to win 5 games last year,
It's just like if you had to put a number out, like
The thing about this
we'll
season, though,
see.
I wouldn't be.
Garrett Wilson could be out for the season 3 weeks in. And everyone's scheduled.
the ceiling and the floor is so different. Like if you're looking with a glass half full, you're thinking 8, 9 wins. If you're looking at the glass half empty, you're in the 2 to 4 win range.
I think the thing about this season, right? The thing about this season is because I like how we have no pressure this year. If we had pressure on us and we went 10 like last year, or 2 years ago we went 5-12 like last year, I would be pissed, right? But this year I feel like I think I may have said this a few times, but this year's kind of like an experiment year for Aaron and Glenn. So I wouldn't even be mad if we went 7-10 or 6-11, right? I just
I
like,
would.
I can't wait to just I wouldn't really, because for me as a head coach, I would give a head coach at least till halfway through year 2 to make a full judgment on them, right? Because I feel like year one can kind of be like, okay, first year they could have been, who knows the scenario, right? They could have been given this roster to work with, and then year 2 is when they start building that up, right? So that's why I really wait until at least halfway through year 2 to fully judge a coach. So to have obviously I'll have a guided opinion on my way to that point, but I think to make a full, confident 100% opinion on a head coach, I think I probably have to wait till halfway through year 2.
Year 2.
Yep.
So when the Jets were
If Aaron Glenn wins 2 or less games, you have to fire him.
Yeah. I mean,
there's obviously
Jack,
a point.
Jack, at week 10 in the Adam
11,
Gase era,
10.
we know you're well versed in the 2020 Jets. So week 10 in the Adam Gase era, were you on the edge of your seat where you're like, wow, this time next year we'll figure it out? Will he get a win by then? Yeah, we're all holding out hope that they don't.
I knew he was going to be fired anyway. I knew he was going to be fired.
Blitz 7 on a Hail Mary and leave no high safety. Let's see if Adam Gase one more year, baby, and next year we'll win it all. Were you really?
I think after the second Bills game. I think after the second Bills game of the season, week 7, I believe that was. That's when I realized that Gase is done. Gase is done after the season.
I mean. Gosh,
Adam Gase is just a terrible coach.
He's the worst coach I've ever seen. I couldn't tell what
sums up the Jets over the last 2 decades. It really does.
Yeah.
Todd Bowles, I think was.
I have mixed feelings on him.
Man,
I have mixed feelings.
I thought Todd Bowles was a very good coach. He just doesn't have the personality for New York. He's never going to be well liked in New York.
Absolutely, and I think Todd Bowles is a good overall coach. You see him succeeding in Tampa right now. But, he never, Sam Darnold was obviously a miss, but, you give him Baker Mayfield, you see what he can do. He's not a bad coach overall, but, yeah, he's also a little shy for the New York media.
Well, Josh, the thing about Sam Darnold, right, I get he had a lot of flaws, but I really feel like it was just...
the overall team was terrible. He had no offensive line. He had no weapons.
Yeah,
whatever way you look at it, Jack. Defense
Mono.
Great.
Yeah, Mono, yep. Well, that was 2019, I believe, right?
What was 2019?
2019 weeks 2 through 5, I believe he had Mono. Then he came back week 6.
What week was it in 2019 when Luke Falk came in against the Patriots and they lost 50-0?
Oh my! Was that when Bill Belichick kept calling those
it was week 3. We lost 30-14
intentional false starts on Thursday?
No, it was not that close.
No, week 3. Yeah, it was 30-14. I'm telling you. Look up week 3, 2019.
With Luke Falk.
30-14.
Patriots 12 says, you mean 2 decades, half century, Josh. I mean, at this point, ever since Broadway Joe won the Super Bowl.
I had no idea.
It
did not.
Big time downhill from there.
I think Connor, you're probably thinking about the week 7 game of Monday Night Football. It's 33-0.
No, I know that game.
And Bill Belichick.
Darnold was playing quarterback that game, though. I'm thinking about the game when Luke Falk started.
Are you thinking? Oh yeah. No, then that was 30-14. Fox.
Yeah. Appreciate you all joining us here on this Sunday edition of Next Gen Jets. Connor Long, Jack Cotter, Joshua Oliver here with you guys on the show. Any questions? Throw those in the chat. Call into the show with the pinned comment. Every gifted membership or $2.99 super chat will get you an entry into our membership raffle. Luppy comes in with his 4-month member super chat. Appreciate you, Luppy. Says nice job on Jake. Show you guys in the future. Luppy, appreciate the kind words. Appreciate your support.
Luppy.
And Rick Kent, our guy, comes in and drops a 10 spot of gifted memberships. Let's go.
I am caught along, and I am fucking annoying to most. Hot takes and pessimism annoy people. According to Chris, I'm illogical, and I take that as a compliment. I am done putting blind faith into you regimes, and the Jets need to show me they are not just the same old Josh McCown would have been the best 18, no matter what Grasso says. I love the Jets with all my heart, boy, must show me now.
Thank you, Rick, for the 10 gifted memberships. Says The username called, thank Rick for the gifted membership. 3 siblings, James Rouse, Wild Wave, Flight Boys 2.0, Jet Fan since birth, Sir Luca, Devil's Magic, that is Indy Jets' new account, John B, Big Will, and Alan Avatal. You are all been gifted memberships. Thanks for
Alan.
Rick. Rick, that is 10 raffle entries for you, and I appreciate the kind words. Appreciate all of your support here on the channel. You are the best, Rick Kent. All right, again, if you have any questions for us, throw them in the chat. Super chats, memberships, keep those coming. They get you raffle entries, and they go a long way here on the channel. You can call on the show with the pinned comment at the top of the chat. Johnny Boy, who's better, Aaron Rodgers now or Justin Fields, and why? Justin Fields. And then I'll explain why. Okay, why, Jack? You go first. You go first.
One, he's more mobile. Obviously you need a mobile quarterback in today's NFL. I think, Rodgers is just reaching that age where he's just not it anymore. I think he proved that towards the end of the season last year. He can't escape the pocket without falling down on his own, right? And or being crushed, right? Obviously he still has that arm talent. I really think, Rodgers' arm is always going to be a special gift that he has, but if we're talking overall talent here, I think Justin Fields, A, has a higher ceiling as of right now, just because of his age, right? And then 2, right, I think that, like I said, in today's league, you really need a mobile quarterback. And I think Rodgers will not survive with Pittsburgh if their O-line or if he can't stay in the pocket that long, or if he can't escape the pocket, he will not survive.
Josh?
And Jack, you make a couple good points. Obviously, it's the Rodgers' inability to basically do anything besides throw the ball at this point. Outside of literally just the arm talent, Aaron Rodgers doesn't provide you much. Not only can he not escape the pocket, it's also just so hard to scheme with a quarterback like that. I mean, there's absolutely nothing. It's not going to be anything deceptive. Like, not only is that a problem in the passing game, it also shuts down the run game, right? When Rodgers is back to pass, there's going to be one thing he's doing, and it's going to be looking for DK Metcalf. And that was true because I saw a full season of it. All he did was throw to Devontae Adams and Garrett Wilson's, and defenses knew how to scheme against that, right? It's offensive coordinator gets tied up in it. The rest of the offense gets tied up in it because there's no extending the play. If the receiver's not open, your best hope is an incomplete pass at that point. You're right, Jack. Aaron Rodgers is way past his prime. There's no ceiling for him at all anymore. It's just the floor, which literally could sink as far low as you could possibly imagine. Justin Fields at least has a spark in him, at least can give you some sort of hope. Aaron Rodgers, I mean, he is just falling off a cliff at the moment.
Justin Fields has all the tools you need to have succeed at the NFL level. He's shown flashes of that. He just needs to be more consistent. And if he finds the right scheme, I think he's going to be a very, very good NFL quarterback. Hopefully it's with the Jets. Rick Kent drops in. He's been a member for 5 months. This is Connor, always happy to support quality content. Rick, you're the best. Appreciate all of your support here on the show. Where were we in the chat? Caden comes in and he says, which Jet will break out the most this season?
Arian Smith. I'm really starting to believe that Arian Smith will rise to the occasion this year. I really do. I think.
What made you instill the confidence in him? Like, what have you been hearing?
I think, obviously we still don't have a definitive wide receiver too. And I think, watching OTAs, I really think that he reminds me a lot of Tyreek Hill a lot, very speedy guy. I think, if you match him in the slot, I think if you feed him on RPOs and bubble screens, I think he's going to eat, right? Especially even jet sweeps as well. I think he'll really, find his way in this offense here quicker than most people think, right? When we drafted him, I was like, hell no. Why did we pick this guy? We passed over so many good receivers, like my guy Trey Harris, at 42, right? And I was just not a fan of it. I really wasn't. But after seeing what I've been seeing in OTAs, I really think that there's a strong possibility that Arian Smith could be the one to rise to the occasion this year.
So you're basing it off what you've seen from him in shorts and a t-shirt?
With what? Two days of practice with media in attendance? Is that what it has been?
I'm just saying he just looks very comfortable right now. Obviously, of course, it's in t-shirts and shorts, but I'll have another, who knows, maybe I'll have another take come training camp time or come preseason time. But as of right now, I really think that he's going to step up to the occasion as of right now.
Connor, Jack's really over there locked in on whatever still shot photos he's finding on NewYorkJets.com of Arian Smith hauling in a pass with a with a beautiful smile on his face. For me, the biggest Jet to step up this season, I think it's going to be MC2, right? This is his time with DJ Reed gone to solidify himself. He quietly got the paycheck he deserved. Now it's time for him to play like the money he got and be a quality top 5 slot in the league. Sauce Gardner's opposing him, and we still don't know who's going to be at the other cornerback spot. But if Michael Carter can be as good as the Jets paid him to be, and he can be that consistent, man, what a boost that brings to an already loaded secondary. I'm looking for MC2 to have a huge year.
I'm thinking out of the box. I'm not going to go with any generic ones. Give me Jamal Pritchett from South Alabama. I can evaluate kick returners. I said Brandon Codrington was going to be a top 15 punt returner last year, whether it was with the Jets or not. I said the Jets shouldn't retain him. He did just that in Buffalo last year, top NFL returner. So I'm just going to humbly take that. But Jamal Pritchett, I think, can come in and carve out a huge role on this offense. He can find a role in the offense. He led the Sun Belt in receiving yards last year. Small spark plug on special teams who could be the starting punt returner, could be one of your kick returners. We've heard great things come out of Chris Banjo's mouth regarding Jamal Pritchett. So give me Jamal Pritchett out of South Alabama. That's what I will throw in. I'm going to kind of think outside the box here. Luppy says, will the Jets be adding to their D-line?
I think probably not. I would assume not, right? Because who else are you probably going to add at this point, right? I can't really name a definitive guy to be our.
If it's a surprise guy who gets cut at cut down day, I can see that.
Yeah, I think if we're talking a guy who's going to get cut, possibly like a guy maybe like I don't know, like I can't really name a guy right now who is a strong candidate to get cut right now, but definitely if that's the case, if that's the scenario, then obviously I think possibly you go after there for some depth. But as of right now, I think with the addition of Tyler Barron, and Derek Nandi this offseason, I think I don't really see right now that they add to their D-line.
Josh.
Yeah, as much as it pains me to say this, I think they're done, Luppy. Barron in the 6th round out of Miami is about the best you're going to get at this point. I know it's disappointing to hear because they really didn't address a gaping hole on their roster that was circled all off season. But look, Aaron Glenn is a defensive-minded guy. He had 2 top 42 picks, and he decided that the offense needed the help more, right? And first of all, what I think that says is, number one, he's right. He came in here and knew where the general concerns were on this team. They needed offensive line, they needed tight end, and they addressed those in the right ways that they did. I think what that means from Aaron Glenn is that, number one, he thinks he has the ability to coach a couple of the guys up that are already on this roster and make them better football players. And while it might not be what you could get with that 2nd round pick, it's going to be something usable to better stuff the run, to be more disciplined on the defensive line, not to jump off sides. I think Aaron Glenn is partially banking on himself and partially banking on the veteran leaders like Quinnen Williams to come and step up here and have that double-digit sack season, like Jermaine Johnson to come back off of injury and do what he did pre-season-ending injury. I think, Luppy, that what this Jets team needed wasn't like the big market defensive end, wasn't like going out there and getting Smith from the Vikings. Was it who was a free agent, Connor? I think that's a name you were throwing out there. I think it was more for him coaching up a couple of the young guys on this talent, moving those assets to places where he knew they needed them most. So, I mean, I hate to say it, I don't think there's any way this Jets team adds another.
I wouldn't say I don't know about anyway. The way I see it happening is if there's potentially like a surprise cut down day. If I had to make a bet, I don't think they add any more pieces. But if there's a surprise cut down day, you can't count anything out. So that's where I am. Great point there. Josh, let's see. Do we have anything else in the chat, guys? If you have any questions for us, keep those coming in the chat. Call into the show with the pinned comment. Keep the super chats and memberships coming. They go a long way. Every $2.99 super chat or gifted membership gets you a raffle entry. More entries you have, higher chance you have winning. Appreciate your support. DNY for life comes in with this form on the member super chat. Says, love the convo, fellas. Justin Fields is going to ball.
Appreciate it.
Hopefully he is. That's the hope.
That's what we need. That's how that Jack Carter win season gets established, baby.
Let's hope it's not another repeat of Zach Wilson's tenure. with us.
Yeah, Zach
There's
Wilson just
been
wasn't
too
good.
many times in this stupid franchise.
Zach Wilson just wasn't good.
I don't think in my lifetime, I don't think I've ever seen a quarterback for the Jets play over. From what I remember watching this team, I haven't seen a quarterback play over 3 seasons with the Jets. Or like start over 3
Yeah.
seasons.
Yeah, Sam,
crazy.
2018.
Artie with Peg and Artie, 4-month member super chat. Appreciate you, Peg and Artie. McLaurin for Brees plus late round pick. You on board? If you don't have to give up a second and it's just McLaurin for Brees and a late round pick, absolutely.
Yeah, the second was the big part of why you would say no to that deal. I think absolutely. Brees, last year of an expiring deal, you'd love to see him, but obviously the injury concerns are there. And adding that big of a wide receiver too for one more year of, I'll say it, he's a solid running back with a lot of potential, but a late round pick, I'd absolutely take that deal.
And you could pick up a stud running back in that too, with that too, right? Because in
Donovan
today's
Edwards
NFL,
as a UDFA.
in today, right, because like in today's NFL, really, I think it's becoming to the point that teams are only going to hold on to a running back for about 3 to 4 years, their first contract, even like they're just gonna pound them to the ground until their first contract is up, and then quick start over, draft a running back, ground and pound 4 years, start over. Like it's a whole cycle. I think that's exactly what it is. Exactly. So you can use that late round pick on another running back who's younger and possibly better than Brees Hall. We don't know.
Well, it would be shipping a late round pick. The Jets would lose the late round.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, whatever whatever picks you have in the draft, that you can still draft a running back.
They have like 4th, 6th round picks next year.
Yeah.
You can still use that on a solid.
Or you could package.
Ryan comes in and says your video popped up on my feed. Just wanted to say a couple things. Number 1, hope you guys do well on YouTube. Cool to see young guys who know the game so well going for it. Number 2, go Patriots. Brian, appreciate the kind words. Good to see that it popped up on your feed. Appreciate you all, guys. Smashing the like button, hitting subscribe helps this platform grow. Please, so smash the like button, everyone, and hit subscribe. It really does help us significantly here on the program. Helps grow the platform, but no.
What happened? Alan got you on board, Brian? What happened? 6 rings sent you over here, or what? Patriots 12? Who was it?
Oh, we had a comment from Patriots 12
I know.
earlier. Where was it? It has something about Morgan Moses. How was Morgan Moses? Do you like him as a tackle? Love Morgan Moses, great veteran leader, can't stay healthy. You overpaid for him. 3 years, $21 million for a 34-year-old who hasn't stayed on the field for the past 4 years. Overpay.
I'd just rather start over with a rookie like him.
Let's do AFC East division predictions. I'll give mine first. Buffalo 1, 12-5. Jets, Patriots 2nd, 9-8. Jets 3rd, 8-9. Miami 6-11.
Bingo. That's exactly what I had. I think I have Buffalo.
Josh, Jack, I remember you were crapping on me on Jets worldwide when I said the Patriots were going to finish in 2nd place in the division. You and Chris were both going at me for that.
That's because that's before I really took a deep dive of who their rosters. They picked up so many good guys and shit like that. I forget who was that DB that they picked up. When they picked up that DB, I remember on their defense. I forget who it was, but
Travarius Ward.
I thought.
Carlton Davis.
Yeah. I just think that their defense, especially with a coach like Mike Vrabel, I think that defense is arguably going to be a top 12 unit in the league, and maybe even top 10, right? Because if they play to their expectations, that's going to be a struggle for the Jets to put points up on the board, especially with an unproven quarterback and an unproven head coach, right? Because if we can't get our shit together, then offensively, then it's going to be tough for us to get past New England. I think Buffalo right now, they're out for blood. I think Buffalo is going to be, better than ever right heading into the season. I think, unfortunately, I think Buffalo is probably going to go around 14-3 this year. New England's probably going to go around 9-8. Jets probably around 8-9, 7-10, and then Miami, they're probably going to go around 7-10. I would say as well. So I think it could be a toss-up between Miami and New York for last place in the division. But I think hopefully Miami gets it.
Josh, thoughts?
I definitely have the Bills topping this division. As for the 3 other teams, I'm going to be honest. I don't think either of the other 3 teams in this division make the playoffs. Miami, they have so many issues, and they overcommitted to a 2-year window where what? They got blown out in the wild card round once. and they didn't make the playoffs the other time. Congratulations, Dolphins. Your franchise is screwed. You had the best wide receiver room in the league with no contention, and
They
you
sold
couldn't
it.
get anything done.
They sold
I mean,
it.
it is honestly laughable that Jonnu Smith was the leading receiver on that team last year. I get injuries plagued them, whatever. Injuries.
Josh,
plagued
remember
them.
at camp in Boston
This
when
Dolphins team was so bad.
remember at camp in Boston when they were like the Patriots leading receiver last year, and no disrespect to Demario Douglas because I love
Oh
Pop.
yeah, yes,
Pop's a
yes,
great
yes.
guy. Love Papa. They're like
Yeah.
leading receiver for the New England Patriots last year with 560 receiving yards. Mario
Yeah.
Douglas.
And
Tyler
and
Conklin.
I
Uh,
remember one of the
Wilson.
first questions was like something about how does it feel to have like a revolving door at quarterback when you don't know who's going to be under center every week? And he was like,
I asked him for his top 5. I asked him 2 questions. He said good question at the first one. The first one, like the hardest cornerback to face, and I think he said what's the Christian Benford with the Bills, and then he put Garrett in his top 5 for receivers, which was interesting.
yeah, something in that conversation. I know Jefferson was one of them, but I mean, he was a great interview guest. But yeah, I honestly think that outside of Buffalo, none of these other 3 teams. are
Apparently,
over
Josh.
500.
Apparently, at the what was it? The Baltimore camp.
Mhm.
Some Commanders' backup offensive lineman was there, and the first question the kid asked was, "How does it feel to always be on the bench?"
I heard,
Oh.
I heard that.
Wait, were you on Colin Matt said that last night?
Yes,
That was
yeah.
how does it feel to always?
It's
be
just
on the
like we should not be sitting here laughing because that guy's.
That's just hilarious. If I was there, I would have been just like cringing out of my mind. How does it feel to always ride the bench?
I think someone asked Matt Parrott 2 years ago when he was on the Giants when he came. to
Yeah,
Jersey.
Matt Parrott. I was
Um,
there for that one too,
yeah,
Jack.
I
In
think-
North Jersey.
Oh, is that the guy? Is he on the Broncos now?
Yeah, he is.
I'm
He's,
not
he's
sure
signed
where
a
he is,
short
but-
deal.
He was on the Giants at the
Yeah.
time. I think someone asked him. I think actually one of the first questions someone asked him was, I think he had like an injury like the year prior
Oh my
or something. And
God.
someone was like,
Sounds
and someone
right.
was like,
Oh my
what was
god!
the someone? I kid you not. They were like, Josh, I'm not sure if you remember this. So it was some like blonde hair. He was like
I
11 years old, and he was like,
Yeah.
"How on a scale of 1 to 10, how much did your knee injury hurt?" Like literally, that was like one of the
Oh
first
my
5 questions.
god! And what did the guy say?
I remember Jeremy was like, "Ask a better question. Ask a better question. Ask a better question." It was-
I need to hear what they said when they asked the guy, "How does it feel to always ride the bench?"
you guys go to a harsh camp, Rick.
We will all be. Josh, when is the
We are
NBA?
getting.
gonna-
It's 2 weeks, Connor. It's 2
It'll be,
weeks to where we'll have a live in-person Next Gen Jets show.
Yes. Let's
Chris is
see.
the only virtual one, I believe, right?
What happened?
Chris is gonna be
Yeah,
only
right.
virtual,
Well, we
yeah.
had one where all 4 of us went
Yes,
to Jake Asman
um,
draft party for our Armand Membu reaction video. Which
Yeah, that
was
was
Exactly
live,
2 weeks
though.
from today, we're heading up to,
Yeah,
or at least I'm
it's,
going down to Philly.
right. Well, I mean,
Well,
since you live on a highway, it
Josh,
should
we
be
should
easy
stream-
access for you,
we
Jack.
should stream the draft on the Nets
Oh,
channel. And then we could
absolutely.
get Jack, you come in the
Absolutely.
video. We'll get everyone
Yeah.
together. That'll be sick.
Absolutely,
sure.
guys. If you haven't already, make sure you hit up the Brooklyn Boys channel. Connor and I starting some new exciting stuff over there would really help us grow. Trying to hit
Guys are growing
300
fast.
by draft day. We'll have a live show, live stream reacting to every single Nets first round pick. There's 4 of them this year.
As of
5
now,
of them this year.
When's draft day?
So
When's draft day for
June 25th, I believe.
it's midweek,
That'll be
isn't
a
it?
two-
I just threw the link in the chat. Everyone go over there, hit us with a sub, even if you're not a Nets or basketball fan. Please hop over there, subscribe quickly. Really does help us grow, Josh and I, so we appreciate all of your support. Gonna wrap up here soon, so get your questions, comments, thoughts in the chat. Appreciate you all almost an hour here on this Sunday afternoon. So any questions, throw those in the chat. Go subscribe to the Brooklyn Boys
What a
Show.
time
Just throw the
length
link
for
in
the
the
dead
chat.
period.
What happened?
What a time length for the show, especially in the dead period.
Yeah.
I mean, we made the best out of this.
Great engagement. Rick comes in with $5. Rick, thank you so much for your support on the channel. He says, there must be a real lack of Patriots content on YouTube. More Patch fans show up on Jet Show every day. So that, Rick,
Exactly.
appreciate you. Hey, Patriots 12. I know Paul and DTN listen to him. Go sub to Colby from Patriots Global. He's the only Patriots content creator I know, but Colby and I are boys. Colby's the best. He's at like 20K subs, so go over, shoot him a sub. Listen to him. Colby's the GOAT. DNY for life. Appreciate you, Devin. He comes in with $2. Thanks so much. It's Facts, Rick Kent, JTS. Jets, F, the
Here's what I
Pats.
do know. We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
Oh yeah, baby.
For sure.
I'd
F
rather
the
give up a
pound.
limb than root for the Patriots. I'd give up my left arm.
Okay, that's not true.
No, that's you're always gonna bionic arm like Anakin Skywalker. Just get a bionic arm. You'd actually look cooler with a bionic arm. I'm not gonna.
A bionic arm.
Mhm.
Wouldn't it be
Yeah,
a prosthetic
what the
arm?
name is. Yeah.
No, it's bionic arm. Well, yeah, it's both. It's both, but
How's it both?
Indy
'cause they're
Jets,
the
are you?
same- they're the same thing.
You get a haircut, Jack?
Yeah, I did
Today?
yesterday.
Nice. Good
Indy,
stuff.
why are you not watching? Like,
But it's-
isn't Tyrese Halliburton warming up right now? Like, how are you in the chat? I mean, it's crazy to me that Indiana comes back, wins that game, and then OKC is favored by 12 tonight.
The game starts at 8:10.
8 o'clock.
Okay, so a bionic arm is a type of prosthetic limb.
Yeah,
that you-
Josh, they start 10 minutes after start time. You don't know
Oh
that
my!
by now.
They
what?
start 20 minutes after start time. If you want to play that game,
Well, in baseball, they start 10 minutes after start time.
right? But we're talking about basketball, which is arguable.
Basketball start. No, some of the Knick games that were scheduled for 8 o'clock started at 8:01, and then some started at 8:17.
And yeah, some started at 8:25. Right? It's really
Yeah.
just depends. I mean,
I
they're
swear,
going to try and
MLB
milk.
games-
They're going to try
MLB
and
and
milk
NBA
the ad
games start
revenue
so
out of the
weird.
Super Bowl.
What happened?
MLB games and NBA
Thank
games
you,
are
Andy.
timed so weird.
Thank you, Indy. Appreciate your
Hey, Indy.
kind words. Appreciate your
Appreciate you,
support.
Andy.
MLB games. MLB
They're
is
like
gonna be
8:39.
Josh, Josh is like, I love the Mets. I don't watch every single Mets game. I can't stay
Tell
locked
him,
in.
Connor.
Do you watch Do you watch all 9 innings, Josh?
I watch all 9 innings. I'd probably watch at least 130 Yankee games a year
All 9 innings.
when I can. Yeah.
I probably on a special occasion I'll
Not-
watch all
not
9
tonight.
innings, but on a usual on an average game I'll probably only watch like 6.
I'm just watching
5,
from
5,
here.
6.
Watching a little rivalry action from here. I
Rick,
saw
Lindor,
somebody in
2
the
stolen
chat.
bases on a broken toe. Ronnie Mauricio, 456
Mm,
feet.
Saw
For
the
his first
reaction to
MLB
that
home
one.
run to right
It's
field.
Rockies.
Pete Alonso,
Tell him,
tank,
Jeff.
another tank today. Lindor, tank.
Oh wow, really impressive. That Rockies pitching staff must be.
Yeah,
a big
I
one to
see.
go
I
with.
try to. I don't know if you. I highly recommend it, Rick. There's a feature on the ESPN app if you can't watch the game, where I have it on my phone set up for every game. Every time I turn on the phone, it's just locked on my lock screen. It shows how many runners are on base, how many outs, and that's how I follow the Mets when I can't watch the games. It shows
Right
me
here, Connor. This is
Yeah.
what you're talking about.
exactly that. That's how I follow every single game that I can't watch. I don't watch 9 innings. I don't know how people watch 9-inning baseball
If
games.
it's a Subway series then or like some special
Yeah.
occasion I'll probably
Yankees,
watch all
Red
9
Sox.
innings.
Come on, greatest rivalry in sports, maybe.
All 9, bro. Like, baseball needs to find a way. Once Manfred's out of there in 2029, I think they will
Well,
have
Manfred's
fine.
actually speeding up the game. No one else was
The pitch clock
manly
is,
enough to try and prove all the old heads wrong and actually institute. A
They
pitch
need
clock.
to. The
actually
pitch clock
institute
hasn't
the
even
runner on
speeded up the
second.
game.
Yes. Oh my
Jordan.
God.
No, completely disagree. Both
Oh,
games
just
I've
a
been.
random Wednesday games used to be 2:45. Like, and that wasn't even bad. The games are
It
easily
depends on the game.
2:15 now.
No, are you
Obviously,
crazy?
No, no,
That
'cause
is-
well, it completely
Met games
depends.
All
3
3
hours.
Met games I've been to this year have been over 3 hours.
yeah,
What were the final scores?
Let me. So the
He's
one of them
gonna
is
say like 9-10 or something.
no. Mets Yankees. Game 2 of the Subway Series. Mets Yankees. Whatever that was.
Okay,
And
do they
then
also milk ad
Mets
revenue on nationally televised
Versus
games?
Cubs.
How about just like a random
Oh
Tuesday?
my god, they do not milk ad revenue. They don't put in
If
extra
we're not-
ads.
if we're not talking TV breaks,
they
then
do.
possibly
The other one was 2-6.
6-2. And what was time of the game?
Time of the game was like 3:15.
No.
Yes.
What's the date? Give me the date.
May 11th? Wait, no, it wasn't May 11th. Yeah, it was May 11th. It was at least 3 hours and 15 minutes.
You're saying that based off stats or actually?
I'm saying that from being at the game. The Cubs only had 3 hits too.
What? Uh,
The Connor the Pacers one because of Devil's Magic, as Jake. That's what all these delusional Knicks fans come up to me and say at school, and it's so funny. I'd rather have the 8th overall pick than losing the Eastern Conference Finals, personally. Who would you rather be right now, the Nets or the Knicks, Josh? No bias.
The Nets. The Knicks have no future. The team's disbanded
They
in
just
2 years, and
fired,
the
they
Nets
just
have
fired their head
the
coach.
entire future of the Knicks. There's going to be kids that are in our grade right now, Connor, maybe even younger, that are going to be Nets drafts via the Knicks selling out and not even being in the finals. It's like crazy.
Yeah, the Knicks can't do anything.
Aaron
The
Judge.
Nets are not poverty, Chris.
Chris Grosso in the chat, but he can't be on the show. Where are you, Chris? Beast. Beast.
Yes.
He's
You're
scared to show
backstage.
his face after.
Go
He's
hunt
scared to
down
show his
Chris.
face after Aaron Rodgers signed with Pittsburgh.
Where's Chris? Did he? Where did he go? Did he fly or something?
He
said he's in
scared.
Maine, but I doubt that.
In Maine.
What in the hell is he doing in Maine for when he should be
Facts.
over here working with us? It's like, dude, get your butt back over here.
He's on the
and work
toilet.
with
He's on the
boys.
toilet.
Come on, man. At a rest stop? Oh, come on, man. You can do better
Chris,
than
call
this.
in. We don't believe you. Prove it.
Chris, I think Chris might be passing 2 pounds of food out of his bowels currently.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chris, I didn't think he was going to play football. I'm wrong. Now I'm going to go cry about that.
Tell him, Beast.
Somebody better get out the cuckoo clock for him because he's backwards. It's like, Chris, come on,
Beast.
get your butt back over here.
Chris, I thought you said we were going to kill Rodgers week 1.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't you say that in the official transcripts?
Oh, no.
Here's Rodgers
Oh,
right
no.
here. He's looking like
Oh,
he goes,
Beast impersonation.
Come here, boy. I got something for you.
Beast, turn on your light.
Oh, yeah.
Ah!
There we go, ladies and gentlemen. The Beast Breaker 666 impression of what Aaron Rodgers will be doing on the road during week 1 of the 2025 NFL season. Anyways, we appreciate you all, and Aaron Rodgers will be killed week 1, no matter what
Woo.
all the delusional Rodgers truthers have to say out there. Josh, did you want Rodgers back initially?
No. You've heard this from out of my mouth 100
So
times.
Josh and I were
No.
the only two that didn't want Rodgers back.
Initially, I wanted him back because at the time I
So
thought he would be the best.
initially,
Oh my
Initially,
gosh,
yeah.
Connor, you're the same person who said I want Josh McCown as my head coach.
I'll stand by that take.
Okay, great.
I'm not gonna act like I didn't say that. I'm not gonna put
Nice.
any adjective or
zero
verb in
coaching
front of that. I'm not gonna put any
experience.
adjective or verb in front of that take. I said that, and I'll stand by that take.
I mean, there's just so much wrong with that take. But
How? Okay, what's wrong with it?
Okay, list.
Chris appreciates your comment.
List
Chris.
his
All right.
NFL experience. Go.
He played in the league for 18 years. He was a
Right.
mentor to
And I'm
multiple
talking about
different-
as a coach.
Yeah. Okay. So as a coach, he was the quarterback coach who led
Quarterbacks coach.
quarterbacks coach, correct? Who led one of the most rapid turnarounds for a quarterback since 2000.
Glad to hear it. So let's
Who, Bryce Young?
hire him as a quarterback coach and then have him be the head coach. of
Okay. So what's the
football
main
team.
job of a head coach? Is it to be a leader, or do you hire them to call plays for you?
I don't know what Josh McCown would prefer. I don't think Aaron Glenn's going to be calling plays, but you gotta have prior coaching experience. You can't just hire anybody.
So, okay, I have a question. Who has more success in the NFL typically? A young, innovative offensive mind or an older, aging defensive mind?
Young,
Typically.
innovative.
I don't know. There's great examples of
Oh,
both.
yeah. This is okay. You can't just answer a general question. Yes or no? Just which one?
You want me to say yes or no? What's
Today's
the
game, the
question?
offensive
Whatever.
line.
Okay, so you're just trying to pick technicalities now. Answer the
Okay,
question. Who
All
is
right. All right. I generally it's young, innovative
it?
minds.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. General.
Okay, then what about Mike McDaniel? He's doing great, isn't he?
Well, Mike McDaniel has brought the Dolphins to the playoffs multiple times. Mike McDaniel hasn't had a quarterback to stay healthy.
But he hasn't
So-
proved anything yet. He can't make it past the first round, and he had so much talent on the plate. And look where he's at
Jets
right
need
now.
a
He's
top
That
not
is not
leader.
true. He hasn't had a
Thank you,
quarterback
Chris.
healthy for more than 10
Thank you. We
years.
need discipline on this roster. We need someone to hold people accountable.
Not some
I don't
whiskey
need
taste.
anybody to come in
Oh.
here and think they have the greatest play design and the greatest scheme. How about this team doesn't jump off sides twice a game? How about this team doesn't take 5 false start penalties in the first 3 weeks?
Who says Josh McCown can't do that?
Oh my gosh. Okay, here we go with Josh.
You think
McCown.
Zach Taylor's a good coach? Josh, you think Zach Taylor's a good head coach?
Yeah, like I get it. There's good examples of both. Do you think
He's
Steve
never called
Spagnuolo
plays
is a
before.
good coach?
He never called. He still hasn't called plays. Their offensive coordinator has called plays for the Cincinnati Bengals.
Okay,
the
do you
job
think
of a
Steve
head coach-
Spagnuolo's a good coach?
What?
Steve Spagnuolo.
Absolutely not. Are you kidding me? He won. Let's pull up Steve Spagnuolo's record as a head coach in the NFL. This will be fun.
What about as a defensive coordinator for the
He's a
Chiefs?
coordinator, not a head coach, so I don't know how that comes into play.
Okay, Josh McCown hasn't been a
Steve
coordinator.
Spagnuolo's record as a head coach in the NFL is 11-41.
Shit, all right. You got me, gang. All right, bro, but I'm just saying, you could be an old defensive-minded guy and it works. He has one of the most successful
The ceiling's
defenses
so
in
much
KC.
higher with a young,
You
innovative.
can,
offense.
but I think in today's game you have to have a really good offense. Because if you have no offense, you can't win. Like look at
Okay,
the Jets
Jack,
2 years ago.
great.
AJ, but Chris,
Awesome.
how does this even matter? Because Aaron Glenn's not even going to be calling plays with the Jets. So how does that even matter?
Of course, how's that red stop treating you? What are you getting? Some Skittles in your system?
How does that even matter, though, Chris? If he's not calling plays, how does it matter that he's?
Nah, Connor
Dude in the
dunks
middle.
on every single one.
Love the hate, love the hate. Much love to you, Double Doink. I appreciate the kind words. I scored a hat trick in soccer the other day. Peas over.
Wait, what about the
the-
volleyball lore?
Oh, volleyball lore is tough, bro. I'm telling you, I cook it.
Oh yeah, didn't you dunk on like 2 kids
Star
in gym class
volleyballer.
a couple weeks ago as well?
What? How do
Dunk
you
on
describe
what?
someone who plays volleyball? A
You dunked on
volleyballer?
a couple kids a couple weeks ago in gym class as well.
Didn't I what?
You dunked on a couple kids in basketball in gym class a
That
couple weeks
is
ago as well.
not what
Oh,
happened.
Chris is getting Burger King. Great. Tell me if you
Oh,
find Adam Gase.
You might have to head back to the shitter in about 15 minutes. I've never had Burger King in my life.
I
Yeah,
have. and
keep
it's
it that
absolutely
way,
disgusting.
Connor. It's disgusting.
It is.
Their buns, like
disgusting.
the hamburger buns, are filled with sugar,
burger
so
wasn't even
kids like to
cooked.
eat it. It tastes
Blech.
like candy.
Oh my god, that shit's.
gosh.
Connor, what's Belichick's record in Cleveland?
What's
Belichick.
Belichick's record gonna be at North Carolina?
I thought someone said Baljeet for a
I was
second.
talking about that with my
He
family yesterday.
was
It's gonna be such a
Belichick
disaster.
was 36-44. Belichick's not a good coach without Tom Brady. Point blank period.
What?
How's that crazy?
Connor, do you think Andy Reid is
Tom,
arguably
I mean,
better
Tom
than
Brady's
Bill Belichick?
obviously the most pivotal part, but that's like
No, I don't think Andy Reid's a great coach, honestly.
Really? Okay. Why?
He's had so much success. He's
No,
the definition of success in the NFL.
He's had great rosters and he's had great coordinators.
Because he
Okay,
built
and he's
that.
made the most
I
out
don't
of them
think
and won
I don't
3
think
Super
Andy
Bowls.
Reid could come in and turn the Jets around.
I think he could. He's very smart. I think he has one of the
Winning
highest football
culture.
IQs you can ever ask for in a team. Right?
I don't think if he
really
becomes
have
the
to.
Jets head coach, you can guarantee him. If I was starting a franchise, I would pick
Nothing's
multiple head
guaranteed
coaches before
ever.
I would pick multiple head coaches.
Kevin
before
O'Connell
I pick-
probably is one of my.
I'd
I
take
would love
Kevin O'Connell. I'd take Sean McVay. I'd
McVay
take-
would be first for me.
Kevin O'Connell for me. I'd take Nick Sirianni, and I would take.
Connor, it's crazy to think about it. Nick Sirianni
I'd
was on
take
a
Andy
hot
Reid.
seat in
Andy
week
Reid
4
or
last year.
O'Connell.
Do you remember that?
Andy Reid's 4. What up?
It's crazy to think about. Nick Sirianni was on a hot seat in week 4 last year after they beat the Saints by a field goal. I mean, it is so crazy. And then they went on to win what 13 out of their next
Yeah.
14 to win the Super
Yeah.
Bowl. That's crazy.
Eagles are going to be interesting without Kellen Moore.
Sean McDermott's not a bad option.
But do you
either.
think that this version of Saquon,
Dan
record-setting
Campbell.
Saquon, can stay?
Dan
this-
Campbell's my favorite NFL head coach. I've said that since 2021 when they won 3, 4, whatever games. I don't think he's going to. I don't want to.
Do you think he's gonna be on the hot seat next year?
No, I just don't think what it's going to look like with different coordinators.
Yeah, I mean, he lost his whole coaching
I
staff.
don't know,
so
the
how
Lions-
great of a job he
I
did.
would say the Lions still make the postseason, but definitely not at the depth that they were.
Obviously,
a
I mean,
year
think
and
about their
2 years
roster:
ago.
Jared Goff, Amon Ra. You have the
I mean, they have John Morton as their offensive coordinator.
who?
And John Morton, former Jets passing game coordinator. Oh, what is
Where'd the
happening?
camera go?
And they have Kelvin Shepard as their DC. That's not diabolical at all.
Nah. If you can't
mean,
prove,
right
if
now-
Campbell can't prove what he was without Johnson and Glenn, then in a year or so, he could be on the
But
hot
come
seat,
on,
right?
come on. He turned that team around. You can't. I mean, the
Of course,
coordinators
it,
have
oh, no, of
been-
course it is. I'm
Well,
just
you
saying,
have the
like,
two
if you
best
can't
coordinators
prove-
in all of football. I mean,
yeah, if
Right,
you
and
can't
that's
prove
why they get
without
plucked to
Johnson
be
and
head
Glenn,
coach.
then if he can't prove anything without Johnson and Glenn, then I mean, where's the reason not to put him on the hot seat, right? Because obviously, I love Campbell as a coach. Absolutely love him. I love his energy on the field. He's what I wanted Robert Saleh to be. Right? He's basically what I wanted Robert Saleh to be as a head coach. But
I think that era of
Johnson
head
and-
coach though is kind of fading away.
You think so? Yeah. I'm just saying,
I
like,
think it's,
if
like-
he can't prove, right? If he can't prove that he is good without Johnson and Glenn, then there's no reason not to put him on the hot seat at this point. And who
So,
knows?
Connor-
Give it some time, obviously, right? But you gotta at least consider it.
Saleh and the 2020 Jets, Jack. Connor, you're all in on the analytics these days as a head coach. You want
2021.
It's not
Whatever,
analytics. It's
rolling
not
the dice on
analytics.
fourth down if the stats say you have a better chance.
No, not at all. It's just the fact that young, innovative offensive minds win nowadays. And like, if you act crazy on the sidelines, I guess that's cool. But I think you're a better coordinator than you are a head coach.
I think
Like-
being a coordinator, it's like college in the NFL. Being a coordinator and a head coach, it's two very separate games, right? Like take a look at, let's see, who's a perfect Robert Saleh, perfect example, a great defensive coordinator, arguably a top 10 defensive coordinator in the NFL when he's with the right scheme, but a head coach, he's not the best.
Connor,
Let's
Texans
just-
just
he's not
signed
the best head coach.
Nick
I
Chubb
like to
according to
see-
the Athletic.
You are 2 hours and 45 minutes late to that
shit.
news, Josh.
Oh shit. Shoot.
Without leadership,
Oh shoot, that's gonna be good.
that's what I'm saying. The guys who like
Oh, shit.
without leadership, look what happened to the Jets. I just don't think the Jets had great coaches. I think if the Jets had Liam Cohen as their
There's
head
more
coach,
Rodgers over team. I think that's
yeah, I don't.
we'd be dead.
I still, again, you need smart head coaches who are innovative and can out scheme opponents and build a strong staff, not guys who throw their headset and do chest pumps on the sideline. Like, I just think that era of football is kind of being phased out. It's great to have one of those guys as a linebackers
it's not.
coach, as a coordinator,
Adam
as a
Gase,
Jack, what do you?
special teams assistant. Well,
Yeah,
I
and-
think
and
isn't
that-
a good coach either way.
I mean, that was exactly the case for Rex Ryan to be brought back as the head coach. Jack,
I
let me guess,
don't
you were on
agree.
board with that too?
It's like Josh. It's like Dan Hurley. Oh, I can't stand that guy.
I mean, that guy. I swear, if he got an NBA
Plus, he's
job
not
in the-
even
in
calling.
the
Aaron
first
Glenn's not even
40
calling
minutes-
plays.
In the first 3 minutes, Dan Hurley would be ejected from an NBA.
Chris, Aaron Glenn's not even calling plays for the Jets this year. King Jamie. At least we don't have to worry about the Steelers. They just ruined their over 500
Yeah,
season in a row record. IMO.
I mean, Mike Tomlin. That
I think they should
That
just
trade
tank. I don't
is
think they should have traded for DK. I think they should have just started Howard and tanked.
started who?
Will Howard.
Mm.
Just like tanked and try to get a high draft pick.
you don't purposely tank. I mean, you can never
How many teams do that?
I mean, you
Purposely
can
tanking.
plan your roster about it. Jack, you don't go into the game saying that you want to lose, but you can certainly plan your roster so that it's not likely that you win a ton of games.
There's no point in bringing in Aaron Rodgers. Like, that's just stupid, in my opinion. They're not going anywhere with Aaron Rodgers. You should just start and see what you have with Howard. If he doesn't work out, you have a high pick next year, and you have your chance at a insert any great quarterback you want.
Steelers just can't wrap their head around not.
The only reliable reason I could see
Don't
why they
have
brought
to
in
be
Rodgers
convinced.
was because to mentor Howard.
You don't
That's
pay
the
a
only reason.
quarterback $20
That's
million.
the only realistic reason I see.
Well, you have Mason Rudolph, who's a veteran. So it's not like they don't have any other quarterback.
Yeah, but
Chris
would you rather-
saying
be hon-
Steelers
be
are
honest, Connor, would you rather
AFC
have
chip
Rodgers or Rudolph
contenders.
as
Like
as a mentor?
Chris, bro, who do you think
Oh,
Aaron
come
Rodgers
on.
is? Like what? This is ridiculous, bro.
Chris, who's the
said-
Steelers wide
Jack-
receiver
Jack-
too? Calvin
Chris,
Austin.
Jack, was it?
Chris. Oh my god.
No, I might have been the only one. I
What?
think Jamie, you might have called in when this happened. Chris said he thinks Rodgers can win MVP next year if he signs with. Pittsburgh.
Yeah, no, I was there.
Yeah, you were there. That was so funny.
he was like, no, I actually
Chris,
think.
dude. Chris, and 2020.
Talking about how
sorry,
unfair the
failed.
Jets treated Aaron Rodgers.
How?
No, that's what Chris thinks. Oh my god.
2020, anything. Salah put Rodgers over the team. I don't know how that.
Correct. Aaron Rodgers was the GM of the Jets, and he won 5 games. Man, that's just freaking ridiculous. GM
The Jets
and
don't
head
owe.
coach.
Let's get this out of the way. The Jets do not owe Aaron Rodgers anything.
We've gotten that out of the way months ago.
We gave him.
Steelers
him.
Chris,
defense is
Rodgers has
crazy.
never been able to utilize a wide receiver to DK Metcalf's caliber or skill set.
And who's their wide
He had,
receiver?
he had
Calvin Austin.
Devontae
He's gonna
Adams and
feed it to
Garrett
Metcalf
Wilson
the entire
last year.
game.
Chris, how'd that work out?
He's never worked well with a receiver like DK Metcalf, who brings similar skill sets.
Even so,
Their
Connor,
defense is not great. They have a good defensive line, but their secondary is. You might as
Everyone's
well
old.
put Minka Fitzpatrick in a wheelchair.
Connor Devontae
Chris,
Adams.
Devontae
in his
Adams and
prime.
DK Metcalf are two completely different
Two completely
receivers.
different. Metcalf's just
Completely
strength
different.
and speed.
So DK Metcalf is 6'4", 230 pounds, who's gonna just kill you
He is
with his
a
truck move
dog.
and get you contested catches. Devontae Adams is gonna run pretty little slant routes and gets the ball and create yak opportunities.
Just a yak guy, yeah.
Both guys are great
But-
receivers, completely different.
And Chris, the thing about this, right? Because if you talk about the Rodgers Metcalf connection, who is the Steelers wide receiver too? Calvin Austin. There's no way Rodgers is going to throw to him more than DK Metcalf. He's going to force it to Metcalf every single chance he get. He's going to. I think if I'm going to make a prediction right now, Rodgers is going to throw the most picks he's ever thrown in a season this year.
I don't even know if he
Just
plays
They
more
have
than
no
5
running game
games.
either. Jalen Warren is their RB1.
Yeah, exactly. Just because, right? You don't have a guy outside of
My
Metcalf.
prediction,
to rely
Clip
on
this,
a lot of
everyone, now. Aaron Rodgers will be a bottom 5 starting quarterback next year and will be benched by week 14.
Chris,
That
I
is my
can't
prediction.
believe you think they're legitimate contenders. If they don't come last in that division, I think the Browns have a better shot.
I'll say it one more time so everyone can clip this now. Aaron Rodgers will be a bottom 5 quarterback next year, and he will be benched before week 14.
That's not even a hot take. It just Chris.
With some of
Chris,
these
you
delusional
have
Rodgers
made a
truthers
lot
out
of
there.
questionable statements on this show. This is by far the worst one. You are out of your mind.
Yeah,
You are crazy.
Chris, MVP
7
Rodgers,
and
that
10 tops,
2020,
King Jamie.
That ship sailed.
Very tops. I mean, that's if everything.
Off
goes
topic,
right.
just because I was behind, so you guys say the Nets are in a better position than the Knicks. If you look at draft picks, then sure, but Knicks are easily in a better spot to win it. Knicks have 2
They
years.
just fired Tom Thibodeau.
Right.
Tom Thibodeau. They just set back another. As a Knicks fan, I hate to say, it, but
You're a
they
Knicks
just set
fan?
back. Yes, but I'm like you're a casual Knicks fan. I can't name more than like 4 players on the team, and like I'm like Chris. I'm a playoff Knicks fan. I'm just saying, like from what I know, if you fire a head coach that is proven to be a good head coach in the league, like Tom Thibodeau, because the Knicks are better than they've been in a long time. I don't get
And
why
he had to do
firing.
that.
Why firing Tom Thibodeau with
Things can
you guys-
unravel. What I would have done. See, I don't like Thibodeau. I haven't shared these thoughts here on the channel. This is what I would have done with Thibodeau. I don't think Thibodeau's a good coach. I've never been a Tom Thibodeau fan. I think you have to give him a fair chance. I blame last year's collapse more on the depth than I do Thibodeau. I would have beefed up the roster this offseason. They don't have cap room, so it would have been tough. But I would have done my best to add some extra depth pieces this offseason, and then give Thibodeau one more year. Thing with firing Thibodeau is Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart, all those guys love him. So the new head coach, insert Johnny Bryan, Taylor Jenkins, whoever, Jason Kidd is a name we're hearing. If the stars and that coach don't gel, things can unravel really, really, really quickly. And then things can unravel quickly, and then boom, a trade request comes in.
Yeah,
Gator, Gator comes in. Appreciate you tuning in, Gator. He says, Connor, I bet you your allowance that Rodgers has more wins than Fields. Rodgers or the
That'll be
Steelers?
the most Jet things ever.
yeah, that would
be-
especially. if
I
they
think
get beat
Rodgers
up in
will be
week
benched.
one.
I think Rodgers will be benched before the end of the season.
Yeah.
Wait, all right. Stand by. You guys converse as I see your request in the chat, Jack, and I will dig up some good old transcripts here.
Jack, let's talk a little bit of
Good,
Knicks.
good.
Ryan is in the chat.
Yeah.
Why add pieces? Tibbs probably wouldn't even play them. Sick of the 7-man rotation, no in-game adjustments. Ryan, look, I think that's why Tom Thibodeau is. I don't think that's the reason the Knicks fired Tom Thibodeau. I think it's the reason I would have. I am. If I'm a Knicks fan, I'm on board with this Tom Thibodeau firing. I mean, it's ridiculous how a guy with this good of a roster doesn't make it through the Eastern Conference Finals in 2
Just
years.
the pace. I think the
I
Pacers just
think-
were overall better than us. I think if you
Okay,
get better, that's why you
say
build.
that
That's why you build
whatever
on.
you want.
As a
I
general
don't
head
care.
coach, that's why you
I
build
don't
on. You build
care,
on.
Jack.
You
You
don't
could
give up. You
assemble
don't
the
stop. You
worst
keep going.
5
You keep going.
players in NBA history, put them on a court, and if you gave them a
So you're gonna make an excuse
12-point
to
lead
give up.
with 2 minutes left, and the coach couldn't get them through that, I don't know what to tell you. I mean,
So you're gonna make
your
an
team
excuse
doesn't
to
know how
give
to shoot
up.
free throws?
You're gonna excuse to give up rather than move forward and get better and get over.
Honestly, I think the
Josh,
Knicks
you'll
haven't
be at
been
week
this
1,
good.
right?
What?
You'll be at week 1, right?
I will be. Hope
Say
to
what's up
see-
to Josh, Devin. All right, I have transcripts.
See you there, Devin. But if I'm the Knicks, I think the Knicks fired Tom Thibodeau just to get this out there because they haven't made this far in 25 years, and they honestly don't know how to act. They are above their heads. They think they're too good. Oh boy, here we go.
This was when did Rogers sign? Was this Thursday or Friday?
Yeah, it's Friday. I
Oh
believe.
boy.
Thursday afternoon.
Week 1, it's over for bro. Chris, where are you at? Colin from Burger King, Chris.
Fuck grandpa. So, Chris, if he's playing against your team, you can still make a realistic prediction. That doesn't mean you just have to like make something up. Like you can root for your team yet still share what you think will happen.
Chris, we know you have good enough Wi-Fi to be chatting in. Colin, hit that link. We want to hear.
Chris, you can be a diehard fan yet make takes that don't
Chris,
fit for your
call
team.
him with your
every
Whopper. Oh, Chris, come on.
Call in with your Whopper.
Get that crown on your head.
Chris, please, I want to talk some Jets with you, bro.
Chris, no one's saying this. You guys handle this.
I don't know, Chris.
alright.
Can you not be passionate? I mean, I guess you can
Just
be. Just
be
toss
passionate,
on your
Jeff.
Luke Kuechly jersey, rep some Panthers, blue, hit up Bank of America Stadium. Get your Go Bryce Young chance going, number 9 for life, and you surely
The
be passionate.
Panthers, the
You might not be a
Panthers,
crazy Jet fan.
the Panthers are in a good spot, in my opinion.
I'm in
all
the
seriousness,
car.
in all
Look, he's in Carolina. Here he is. He's in car. CAR. He's in Carolina. Everybody.
He's pulling up to the training facility.
Chris, in all seriousness, I think you could be a diehard fan, but at the same time, have have opinions on Rodgers. Like you can say, like if you're gonna stick by Rodgers will be a good quarterback, then so be it, right? But it kind of gets confusing when you say that. Don't sleep on Rodgers, but you say Grandpa Raj. It gets confusing at times.
Let's see what our friend Indy Jets has to say, who joins us now here on the show. Indy, thoughts on this topic?
Well, my topic on my thing with Rodgers is this. He got Mike McCarthy fired. Mike McCarthy won a Super Bowl with Rodgers, got McCarthy fired. He literally got Saleh fired because he couldn't perform. And now he's going to go for getting Tomlin fired. I agree with you. Rodgers gets benched by week 14 and Tomlin gets retired. He won't get fired. They're not going to fire him, but he'll get retired. You watch. I'm with you on this, Connor. And the Steelers will have their first losing under 500 season in 20 plus years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's why you just start Will Howard, in my opinion. Like, start this signing of Aaron Rodgers does not make any sense for Pittsburgh because
None.
Will Howard, if you win, you're winning with a guy you just used a draft pick on. It was a top college quarterback last year. Or if you lose, guess what? You have a top draft selection to then allocate that towards potentially another quarterback or insert any weapon to come in and add another dimension to your offense. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and it doesn't. I would rather play Rodgers week 1 than I would Will Howard.
Oh,
Because
absolutely.
at least you have tape on Rodgers. You know how Will Howard is. He was drafted in the 4th or 5th round.
6th round.
Yeah. And so he's probably not ready to start yet, but you don't have any tape on him. So he could still surprise you. Rodgers isn't going to surprise anybody with anything that he does.
Yeah.
Other than if he makes it through the whole game without a nap.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm with you on 70 points here.
So I think the Jets will win this game, and it's not even going to be close. It's going to be by 10 or 15 points.
Can't wait.
I think it's gonna be like a 3 to 7 point difference. I think the Steelers offense. If Rodgers is starting, I think he's going to at least throw 1 touchdown this game. I think DK Metcalf, it will be a little bit overwhelming for Sauce this year. But
Their defense has to keep him in.
I disagree with you. I disagree. I think because DK slowed down, and I think that Sauce is big enough, fast enough now that he can keep up with DK. And I think that's why Seattle walked away from it, because DK just couldn't perform at the high speed level, because that's all he was. He was tall and fast. He lost that. I mean, Sauce can guard tall guys.
Yeah, of course.
Especially when they press up more.
DK. Week 1, right? I think it could be a little bit overwhelming for any corner. Really, I'm not just I'm not targeting Sauce in any way. I'm just saying like any corner that goes up against DK Metcalf with a strong big guy like him, an unusual wide receiver build. I think it's, of course, I didn't say that. I'm not saying that Gardner's gonna be. I'm not saying Gardner's gonna allow 2 touchdowns against DK Metcalf. I'm just saying like I think it's for his standards. I think Gardner's gonna be just a little bit overwhelmed, right? But I think they will adjust. I think Aaron Glenn will have some adjustments to have Sauce Gardner cover him more. Maybe put him in enter like a zone coverage to maybe just lock down DK Metcalf even more, because hey, if man's not working, check out of it. Unlike Robert Saleh, I think Aaron Glenn will make adjustments this year, so I'm glad to see it if that's going to happen this year. But like I said, Rodgers does not have a definitive wide receiver too, so eventually Metcalf will get overwhelmed by Sauce Gardner. Eventually, maybe the tides will turn come the second half, because who's the Steelers wide receiver 2 right now? Calvin Austin. I mean, Rodgers is not going to throw to Calvin Austin in come week 1.
We'll be out with Lazard.
Metcalf.
It'll probably be Lazard.
Yeah, I mean, not only did he get Robert Saleh fired, but he also had the system tailored to him. He had the receivers that he wanted brought in. He had Nate Hackett hired. But while I got you on the line here, Andy, I gotta ask about your Pacers, man. They're doing something totally special.
Well, like Jake says, it's got to be the devil's magic. I've rewatched that game, Thursday's game, now 3 times, and I have yet to figure out how the Pacers win that game.
Right.
The whole game 3 times.
I was watching the final 5
I watched
minutes.
the entire game. I was up at 4:00 in the morning the next day watching it again, because I have yet to figure out how they won. When here, Connor, you're a numbers guy.
Yes.
Okay. One team has 24 turnovers, to another team has 6.
Yeah.
And the other teams.
What team do you think won the game?
6.
Yeah. One team has 1 steal, and the other team, the team that had 6 turnovers, had 14 steals. What team should have won?
Team that had 16, whatever.
Exactly. How the Pacers won that game. Because there was not an injury. There was not foul trouble. There was,
Rick Carlisle's a top 5 coach in the NBA. That's all I can say.
Yeah, right.
Future.
And they just continued to fight, and it was just bit by bit by bit. And it was a mistake by OKC when Halliburton got the ball, and they just let him get up to 18 feet. And why wouldn't somebody get in his face? I'm glad they didn't, because he's going to drain that 18-footer 100 times out of 100 probably.
Exactly.
Especially when there's half a second left on the shot clock.
The fact that he was rated the most overrated player in the NBA is just hilarious to me.
Right. Yeah. As long as they keep rating him overrated and we keep winning, you know what, Halliburton, you're overrated. I'll go win another one. But hey, great show, guys. You guys continually raise the bar. I just want to say that you guys continually raise the bar. You guys have learned so much from all the other shows that it's kind of like you guys put the best together pull the best from each summit, like Boy Green, Jake. I see a little bit in each, Ryan and Matt and even Green Bean. I see you guys pulling the best out of it and are really making a great show. So just keep it up, man.
Thank you for the kind words, Indy. Appreciate it. Go Pacers. Ladies and gentlemen, Indy Jets checking in with us here on the show. Indy, appreciate all the support, appreciate all your kind words and everything you do here on the show. We are going to wrap up here soon, so last chance to get your final questions, comments, thoughts in. Beast, what do you got on tap this week?
Well, let's see. June 12th is my little boy's birthday.
Oh
And
yeah, I will be there. I will be there.
Oh,
I
wait.
will be
Starts
there.
at 7 p.m. and hey, we're gonna keep the party going all night long. Like
Hey,
Ric
7
Flair once
Central or
said.
7 Eastern?
We're gonna start 7 p.m. Central Time, baby. 8 p.m. Eastern Time.
Oh, Beast, how long is it going for? Because I have a show.
We're gonna go an hour and a half because my little boy likes to watch his program.
Oh,
I've been getting him. I've been getting him into King of Queens, and we also just watched.
Connor,
back
you
to
are
Grace
going to have to
unfortunate
reschedule.
news.
Evan
do have
James,
some
Beast.
unfortunate
Evan
news.
James.
Oh yeah, baby. Hey, you gotta love the great Kevin James, baby. That man is a legend.
So
Oh.
wait, Beast, how will I get the link for the
Gator will send me out Gator will send it to me ASAP on the button.
and
Don't
you
worry,
will can you send me the link on Instagram, Beast?
Oh, see me go. See Gator got me. Gator got it all under control.
Send that my way, Connor, when you get
Oh, don't
when you
worry.
get your hands on that.
Oh, are we all getting ready for? Because Jets season starts preseason. Jets Grill will be opening, and I'm gonna open it up with something brand new this year. Ribs. We're going full throttle, baby. This season, you better expect.
Beast, has that grill been cleaned?
What?
Never.
Has that grill ever been cleaned? Is it sad?
Hell yeah! Hell yeah! I already got
With
it all
what,
prepared.
Beast?
I already got it all prepared. I already got my pool ready to go to battle. I already bought my pool
Oh, yeah,
talent.
Beast.
I'm ready for it. See, hey, this is the summer. This is where the action starts. And hey, this is where the journey
Absolutely.
begins, baby. Let's party because this summer there ain't no sitting back. It's time to party because I gotta.
Beast, can we get a JETS before you go?
Now, okay, let's try something here. Whoa, come on!
Whoa.
Here you go. Let's go! Whoa!
Hey.
Ready? Let's go! Ah! Whoa!
That's a great way to send us home. That's a great way to send us home tonight.
Absolutely.
Ladies and gentlemen, the great Beast is global. So he's no longer Beast Breaker, he's Global Beast. Is that correct, Beast?
See, Migo.
There we go. That's the final verdict that'll close us out tonight. Appreciate you all tuning in. We're back tomorrow here on this channel, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with Nick Faria of JetsXFactor.com. Will join me in his weekly spot. Appreciate you all tuning in. Have a great rest of your evening, everyone. Everyone has a great week, Monday through Friday. Love you all. Josh Wolliver and Jack Potter. I'm your host, Tommy Long. Signing off. Yeah, that's it.